Republicans wasting no time taking shots at Minnesota Governor Tim Walz over his military record. The issue coming to the forefront last week when Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, now a GOP vice presidential nominee who himself served in the Marines, began questioning the circumstances surrounding Walz's 2005 retirement after 24 years with the Army National Guard. Listen.
He said we shouldn't allow weapons that I used in war to be on America's streets. Well, I wonder, Tim Walz, when were you ever in war? What was this weapon that you carried into war, given that you abandoned your unit right before they went to Iraq, and he has not spent a day in a combat zone? What bothers me about Tim Walz is the stolen valor garbage.
We know Walz did retire to run for Congress 2 months before his unit deployed to Iraq. The Harris campaign also saying Walz misspoke when he referred to carrying weapons in war. Joining me now to talk more about this issue is Minnesota Public Radio's political reporter, Dana Ferguson. Dana, it's so great to have you. We appreciate it. So Senator Vance there used the term stolen valor in reference to Walz, but that would actually be a crime to lie about military service, to defraud people, and there's no evidence that he's guilty of that. So what are we really talking about here with this issue?
It sounds like the concern is really over the way that Governor Walz has framed his military service. We know that he was honorably discharged before he ran for Congress. And in our assessment of the records, there's no indication that there was any issue with the way that he decided to retire, just some misspeaking when he's framed up the terms around which he left.
And there's also the conversation around his rank, this question over his title, because the campaign website still uses the rank Command Sergeant Major. So what's the issue there, and how is Vance trying to frame this?
The issue is that Governor Walz, reached that title but was not able to go through or didn't complete additional training required. So he was a step below that at the time that he retired. However, he continues to say that that was his title. And we hear J.D. Vance saying that he shouldn't be using that title. The campaign should not be framing him that way if he's not completed that training.
We know how effective the so-called swift boat attacks were on John Kerry in the 2004 presidential election for all the political wonks out there. So you think this controversy, though, is something that could actually cost Harris and Walz in November?
You know, it's hard to know at this point. Certainly it's an issue that some folks will feel really charged up about. They don't want a candidate who's framing himself inaccurately. But what we've heard from the governor's supporters and others is that it shouldn't be an issue about how he's trying to present himself if he actually spent this time, if he was discharged honorably and wants to support other folks who are in service now.
Yeah, at the end of the day, he did still serve 24 years, and this is the first time in a long time that we've had two vice presidential candidates with military service who are veterans. I know there are a lot of people who think that's a good thing in our political discussion for both sides. Dana Ferguson, thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate it.